are 4 tournaments going on tonight.
Yep.
And there are 4 tournaments going on every Friday here.
Yes.
It's ridiculous how much Magic you can play here at Epic Loot in Centerville. We covered Standard Round 1.
Yep.
We covered Standard Round 2.
Yes.
Both times we saw a white heroic variant play something similar deck, and we saw Matt Farney with his green-white heroic deck lose to Abzan Midrange.
Yep.
And we saw a blue-white heroic deck just absolutely take apart an Esper control list. It was a pretty good time.
Yeah.
But for round 3, we're bringing something a little different.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped.
I'm so excited.
1v1 Commander pods are firing tonight.
So, put it in perspective. So, I'm not a huge Commander player.
I'm not a Commander player either. I don't like them. I don't like playing multiplayer Magic.
Right.
I don't like the kind of the tone of Commander, which is like has a banner restricted list, but play nice. I like ruthless cutthroat Magic, and this is 1v1 ruthless cutthroat Commander.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be pretty cool.
So like, no joke, these decks remind me of vintage decks.
Yeah.
Usually.
They're very powerful. When you want to build
good.
a powerful, the format allows the banner restricted list allows an enormously high power level in the decks. I mean, no power 9, but man, you can play some busted cards.
Right.
So in this particular match, Kyle McDaniel is playing Narset Commander, which should be kind of interesting. A lot of very powerful instants and sorceries, I would imagine. Maybe some Planeswalkers. I'd love to see him flip some cool Planeswalkers.
What does Narset do?
Narset is the one whenever it attacks. Narset Enlightened Master. It's a 3/2 hexproof. Whenever it attacks, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may play any non-creature spells without paying their mana cost that turn.
Ooh.
So you just like stack it with this ridiculous thing. Oh! And Brandon Miller is playing Sliver Hive Lord.
Oh, good.
Slivers, I love slivers. When I play Commander, when I briefly tried to play Commander, I built slivers.
Yeah.
I love slivers. I play slivers in a lot of formats. I've been playing it since slivers was a thing.
Yep.
Didn't like it, took the Commander deck apart, but still a big fan of the idea. Both these players are 1-0 in the 1v1 Commander tournament.
I think about 2-0. I think.
And this is round 3. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Round 2. They're both 2-0. And it's also worth pointing out that the other tournaments that we're in tonight are a 40-man modern tournament that's going on right now, which is sweet.
This is great. Yeah.
And there's a cube draft going on, and how it's totally sweet, all alternate art cube. So, yeah, it's a lot of magic going on. We're going to try to dip our toes in the water of everything.
Yeah.
Maybe do another standard round next and then modern, because modern's going to be going pretty late.
Yeah,
we'll see.
5 rounds. I mean, modern's going to be going on until like 2 a.m. or whatever, so we'll be here for a little while.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh man, Temples are the first turn plays. That's great.
I'm curious to see how the Sliver deck plays out, because I never had a lot of success with mine. I enjoyed it a little bit. I was playing 4-player Commander games. I wasn't into it, but I thought the idea was cool.
I think for 1v1 Commander it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You're aggressive. You can be very fast. Sliver Legion is just like a beating if you get it down on time.
So Kyle fetching up a Tundra with Azoria Signet.
All right, both players just attempting to make their land drop 6 their mana. Calvin Hannah's playing a 3-color deck. Brandon Miller, a 5-color deck.
That's the Jim Hyde Sliver.
Jim Hyde Sliver. Yep. It's a good one.
Perhaps he's drafted Time Spiral before. This card's great.
So Jim Hyde Sliver, of course, not just a Birds of Paradise variant. It gives all Slivers that ability. So you can actually, in a turn or two, start seeing him generate just an insane amount of mana.
Yep.
Assuming Kyle McDaniel allows it, I'm sure that his deck is kind of control-ish, I would imagine. Those colors tend to lend themselves that way.
Right.
Kyle getting ready to make some mana. I want to see Narset come out. Let's get going.
I know Kyle has Armageddon. Ooh, Thirst for Knowledge.
That's a good one.
Yep. See, these are the kinds of cards you get to play in Commander, and they're all like good. So like, it's like the card that you would expect to be banned are banned. So like the Moxes, Black Lotus, Time Lock, Recall. You cannot play those.
Sure.
There are also some cards that are just like, I would say they're anti-fun. So like Humility is banned. Stuff like that.
And this is the 1v1.
The 1v1
Commander. It's different. I don't know if Braids is banned in this format.
Braids is banned. You cannot have Braids. You can't have Rofalos or one of the Artificers, like Tiff.
Mishra?
No, it's not Mishra. It's
I know Mishra is considered to be pretty good.
It's maybe like Zur the Enchanter.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty good.
So there are certain actual commanders that are banned.
I'm sorry, Mishra's not good. Zur is the one that's considered to be very, very good.
Right. So if you're not familiar with Commander, basically how this works is you each have a commander which stays outside of the game, and
it's in a special zone actually called
yeah,
the command zone.
right. So and you can cast it from your command zone for its mana cost. When it dies, it goes back to the command zone, and then if you want to play it again, it costs 2 more mana. Is that how it
For
works?
every time it's died.
Right.
And you start with 40 life.
I think that's a
muscle sliver.
Muscle
maybe.
sliver, yeah. It looks like a promo muscle sliver.
Brood sliver.
Brood sliver.
That is a scary one.
I got a reader. Let's see.
I'll let you look that one up. It's worth noting that Kyle McDaniel discarded 2 cards to his thirst for knowledge and not an artifact.
Fascinating. It looked like he discarded a lightning bolt, so that's probably not good news for Mr. Sliver, man.
Yeah, I feel if you know you're playing against slivers and you discard lightning bolt.
Well, okay, we're back. Let's see. Names. Brood.
So.
Brood Sliver. Let's see what we got here. So 3/3 for 5. Whenever a sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may put a 1/1 colorless sliver creature token onto the battlefield.
Yes. Notice it doesn't say non-token sliver.
Whenever, oh my god.
So it's exponential.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then you look at cards like Gemhide Sliver, which let them all make mana.
Yeah.
And you can see how it just gets really
busted. Oh, gross. Kyle put a source of plowshares on the Isochron Scepter.
So Isochron Scepter is a card you get to play in this format, and it is like it's good. You don't get to play that card in Legacy really.
No, but it's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Like it used to see a lot of play in Extended.
Yes, it sure did. And there was actually a Legacy variant of that Extended deck.
Right.
But that was ages ago.
Yeah.
I think the prevalence of Stifle pretty much.
Dig through time from Kyle.
Here's the problem I had when I was playing Slivers.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing it here. The spells, because it's Eternal format with a very small band list.
Right.
The spells are so good.
Yeah.
Your opponent can play. Did you know, guys listening at home, that Yawgmoth's Will is a legal card in this format?
It is, yeah.
And you're trying to play Slivers, which are fun, and you can get some really explosive aggro draws.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that your opponent can play Yawgmoth's Will.
Right.
Like, they can play Mind's Desire.
Yeah.
That card is restricted in Vintage.
All of the tutors are legal.
Yeah.
So Demonic Tutor is legal.
Yeah.
Time Twister is legal.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune is legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your opponent can play these kind of cards, and because you're playing a synergistic creature deck, you can't play many spells.
Chrome Mox.
So you don't get to play...
Exiling... I'm going to say that's a Counterflux. And he takes out the Gemhide Sliver. Interesting. I think that's a smart play.
I got to step away from the mic for just a minute. I'll be right back.
I got this. So this is going to get pretty bad for Brandon Miller. Kyle McDaniel with infinite source of plowshares, literally. Let's see. So Kyle will take 3, and Brandon gets some tokens. Joe, what's the white sliver at the top? Is it Essence Sliver? Might be some sort of new bordered Essence Sliver. I'm not sure. Bone Sight. Do not know what Bone Sight does. Let's see. Bone Sight Sliver. Oh, silver creatures you control double strike. That's 2/2 for 4. Kyle, I think during his upkeep, is going to Mystical Tutor, and he gets Supreme Verdict, which seems like a good call. This deck Kyle has is appears to be pretty potent. Kyle adding 4 for, yeah. So Kyle on his upkeep, mystical tutor for a supreme verdict.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah. That's a legal play. You're allowed.
And again, as much as I like my synergistic tribal aggro decks, I always have. I've been playing slivers again since Weatherlight block when slivers were first a thing. I've been playing goblins since Onslaught. There are certain formats that are hostile to those strategies because the spells were so powerful.
Right. This is case one. So Brandon has a commander sphere. Let me pull that up.
I believe it makes mana of any part of your commander's color identity. The way commander works, again, for anyone who doesn't know, you can only play spells that match what they call your commander's color identity, which is the colors and the casting cost of your commander.
Right. So I'm assuming that's like a winged sliver. Is that a card?
Winged sliver is a card.
Okay. I'm assuming that's what that is. I'm not sure.
Did it cost 2? Because that's winged sliver. That costs way more than that, it looks like. That may be a...
No, it costs 2 because he... Oh, no, it costs 3? I'm not sure.
What is that sliver, please, Joe?
Name that sliver. Is it crystalline sliver?
No, crystalline is
blue
gold, yeah.
On the other hand, Kyle has a Tameo in play. He opted to keep the commander sphere tabs.
The problem that Brandon is going to face is...
Yeah!
Okay, sweet. The problem that Brandon's going to face, obviously, is the only way he's going to have to overpower that scepter is to play multiple creatures in a turn, and so he needs to find a way to generate some card advantage.
That's a coat of arms.
Coat of arms, and that'll end the game very fast, especially with Sliver Hivlord acting as an additional coat of arms, lets you get double that effect. But the problem is this: there are ways to draw cards in this deck. If he's playing Dormant Sliver, that's a really good way to do it. Slivers have whenever they come into play, draw a card, but they can't attack. But you get around that pretty easily. Right. But he's got to leave enough gas in his hand to play out something like that, or a Glimpse of Nature, which is legal in this format, and you can play in this deck. You can play Alurin in this format, by the way. And Slivers, the Slivers I was playing played Glimpse Alurin.
Okay.
And like Dormant Sliver Alurin, and you could just kind of actually like draw your whole deck and then sack the Dormant Sliver and kill him.
What is that? Upheaval? That can't be Upheaval.
It's Upheaval.
No, it's not. It's
No. Can't be Upheaval because there's no way you play Upheaval here.
It returned all the lines. Sunder.
Sunder.
Okay. So I just return all. So I'm assuming it just like returns lands in some fashion. And then Kyle replays his Temple Scrying. And Kyle's going to be able to ultimate this Tameo. It's going to be pretty great for him.
I mean, this is a really well-constructed engine of cards that Kyle McDaniel has put together here. I'm impressed by all the synergies he's found between Isochron Scepter and Narset, both rewarding you for playing a ton of powerful effects, that are typically one-shots.
Yep.
I like the powerful Planeswalkers with Narset because it doesn't flip instants and sorceries to any non-creature spell. So you could theoretically flip over like these big, scary Planeswalkers.
Right.
So multiple powerful engines, and that's really what it takes to build a good commander deck. It's all singleton, so you have to find multiple ways to get value out of your cards. And I think that
tutor effects are very good
in
a commander. To the point that in multiplayer commander, a lot of just the straight up tutor cards are banned.
Because it does kind of, commander is designed to increase variance or make you play redundant, similar effects.
Right.
And when you can just stack your deck with a ton of tutor. Oh, Joe is reminding us of Sliver Kids.
Yeah, Charles Gindy and Jacob Van Loon.
Yep, that at a Time Spiral draft Pro Tour.
Yeah,
it was the only two-headed giant limited Pro Tour ever. Only two-headed giant Pro Tour.
Yep.
Fun fact about two-headed giant at the Pro Tour, the matches were best of one.
Yep.
And they drafted, between the two of them, they drafted every sliver that came by. And they virulent slivered people out of the game.
Yep. Yeah, there's a reason why they probably don't do that format anymore. As a Pro Tour format. By the way, I don't know. I'm not sure if that Pro Tour was more or less ridiculous than the first Modern one.
Right, that was bad. And then, of course, there was also, wasn't Flash Hulk a Pro Tour?
No, it was a Grand Prix.
There was a Grand Prix, yeah. Grand Prix Flash Hulk. That was a bad one, too.
I was there. I didn't play in the Grand Prix, but I was there.
Did Noah play in it?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, no, we weren't into the legacy thing.
Sure.
You know. How much were dazes? Oh, at the Grand Prix, I don't know, probably like $1 or something.
Man, Flash Hulk. I wonder if the Flash Hulk deck would even be good now. It'd probably be okay.
Yeah, it's a 2-card. You win.
Yeah.
You just win the game. If Flash resolving a Throwing Hook, you win.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be very good. Spell Snare would be insane.
Yeah. I don't know how much better it is than Show and Tell, I guess, is my point.
I mean, I still think it's way better.
Maybe.
I think. Because you don't win the game when you play cast Show and Tell.
That's fair, but I don't know how many games you lose. How many people have lost after resolving Show and Tell?
Not many, but Flash it's just guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true.
So. And you don't have to play like Ancient Tomb and stuff. Like I don't. So we got some Silver Beats, maybe.
Slivers are beating down. He broke through the Isochron scepter, but man, that Tameo is like a real thing.
Yeah, I think it's at like 9 now. It's only 8 to Ultimate Tameo, right?
I'm not sure if that was up to Tameo.
Tameo is one of my favorites.
It's a good way.
One of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you weren't playing Standard back when the blue-white control decks had access to Tameo, it's really dispiriting to play against. Like, coupled with removal, it's so hard to get it off the table. And
Yeah.
its ultimate is so impossible to beat. Yeah.
And that was when Ponder was around, so you have like infinite Ponders or.
Yeah, and it drew cards too. Like
Yep.
Tameo doesn't just tap stuff. Like sometimes you play Tameo and draw 4 cards. Like
Yeah.
that was basically it's just way better than the Jace that was in blue-white control.
Yeah.
The most recent or second most recent Jace.
I agree.
And that Jace was fine.
It was very good. Oh, Treasure Cruise.
That's a good magic
You
card.
know, why not? And Social Recall is banned, so
Yeah.
I'll play Treasure Cruise.
Yep. You think Treasure Cruise is going to survive in Modern or in Vintage?
And Vintage?
It's probably too good for Vintage, right?
They might restrict
There's
it.
no way you can let people play with 4 when it's a Social Recall. It's
No.
banned, right?
No,
Or restricted.
I don't think they're going to ban it, but I do think that they will restrict it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they don't ban cards for power level in Vintage. So
Right.
It's restricted, but I think they almost have to. You think it's going to get banned in Modern?
You know,
I don't think. I thought obviously it would, but now looking at the most recent tournament results, like the last major tournament was won by Pod.
Yeah.
In a mirror.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there wasn't even a ton of Treasure Cruise in it. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think they might ban Jeskai Ascendancy, but
I don't think so. It hasn't put up any results.
Really? Okay. Then yeah, probably
In
not.
Modern,
Yeah.
the deck's good. I think it's very good, but it hasn't put up any results at all.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, like by any, I mean like obviously it's put top 8 here and there, but it has certainly not been impressive.
They might not ban it.
Nowhere near as bad as like Twin was at its height or Pod was at its height, and neither of those decks got banned.
Well, what I'm hoping for is it does get banned in Modern, but they don't ban Dig Through Time.
Right.
And I'm also hoping that they unban cards in Legacy, which I think is in play.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that Treasure Cruise might get axed in Legacy.
Really?
I don't think that it's too good. I don't at
Right.
all. I think it actually has done really good things for Legacy. It really shook up the format, which I really like when that happens.
Yeah. You have to make cards like that to
Yeah.
shake out Legacy.
But in the same way that Mental Misstep warped the format and got banned, Treasure Cruise has certainly warped it. So it depends on
Yeah.
how tolerant of that Wizard of the Coast
Yeah.
is.
But also the problem is like you can play Mental Mess Up in like every day.
Yes.
You can't play Treasure Cruise in it.
Yeah.
I don't play it,
Sure.
and I play Blue Mana Sources.
But you could.
I
You
could.
probably
I
should. And that's kind of the conversation,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know, but I think the telltale sign was like 2 run Delver decks made top 8 2 weekends in a row.
yeah, and Rug hasn't been good in a while. I don't have a problem with it being good again. So,
I still think Rock Delver is all there.
yeah,
I mean, it's just so solid. It's like, how can you go wrong?
yeah. Because it's not very good. But other than that, I think you're probably
Rug Delver? I think it's fine.
It's fine.
I think it's your best option for Stifle Wasteland Delver decks.
I agree that that's true.
Grixis Delver is not bad, but
The problem I have with Rogue Delver is you have to play with Nimble Mongoose, and the card is garbage.
Nimble Mongoose is great.
It's so
I
bad.
at the open, I won games with Nimble Mongoose. If it was any other creature, I would have lost.
So bad.
I was a hater too. I was like, why am I playing Nimble
Well, that's a
Mongoose?
Chase the Mind Sculptor, by the way, if anyone's
hey.
looking into that.
Oh, and here comes Kyle's commander. Narset.
Basically, Tamio and Jace do a pretty good job of clearing the board for Narset.
They're BFFs.
And you can keep your mana up
This
this. Yeah.
This is great.
This is great. This is the kind of deck I wanted to see when we talked about this format. Like, I'm excited to see it. All this, the cool, powerful cards that Kyle gets to play with.
Merchant Scroll.
And the thing is that I'm impressed by, and I certainly don't mean to put down Brandon Miller's Sliver deck, because through all of this, Kyle's at 11.
Yeah.
This is a format where we start at 40 life.
Yep.
So Kyle's taken 29 points of damage from Brandon Miller's Sliver deck through Isochron Scepter with Swords of Flashes on like turn 2.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, obviously, clearly Brandon has a very good deck.
I mean, like, as far as like linear aggro decks go, he's doing a great job of brawling. The problem, of course, is this is a format that's very hostile to linear aggro decks.
And also, I mean, Kyle got Ice Scepter as Source of Plowshares.
It's possible, just a couple turns later with that, Kyle might be dead right now.
Yeah,
Brood Sliver is really insane.
It's a pounding, And Brandon hit with it once.
Yeah.
If it doesn't die.
Yeah.
And the Poisonous Sliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And Sliver Legion and Coat of Arms. I mean, there's all these really explosive combos.
So obviously, Kyle put these cards in his deck for a reason. But if he doesn't get them, then.
Is that a Thorncaster Sliver?
I do not know.
Thorncaster is the one that whenever a Sliver attacks, it deals 1 damage to a creature player. Oh, I'm sorry. In Dueling Commander, that's a good point. You start at 30.
You start at 30. Okay.
Still.
But yeah.
Battle Sliver is also powerful because all your slivers +2/+0.
Right. He's going to bounce. And then Jace goes back to his hand because of Cameo.
That is crazy.
That's pretty good. Oh, what do we have here? Walk the Aeons.
Oh, yes.
So Kyle's going to take this is infinite turns.
Yep. You'll never get another turn, and I'll attack you. Are you dead? And I keep having Planeswalkers, and then,
Yep.
Just demonstrating how degenerate it is. Narset is, I believe, activated here. That's what's happening.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, like, if Kyle puts like a Brainstorm on his Ice Crown Scepter or something, like
a Ponder, these are powerful cards. Like,
you can't
Ponder, but yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, Brandon was in striking distance this game, and I thought it was basically over. But he managed to get some big chunks of damage in with some
and
Coat of Arms powered strikes.
There are sideboards in this commander format.
Okay.
I didn't realize that. You have 10. You can have a 10-card sideboard.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, just 10. So the wishes are in play, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I will be casting Burning Wish.
Yes, you will. In your degenerate Storm deck you're building?
Yeah, so I decided if I ever play this format, I will play Storm.
Yeah. Take a random Grixis commander and then just like...
Sulk out of the Swamp King, I already decided.
Gotta get a Sweet Legends one, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm a classy guy. Or a foil from Time Spiral. I think that's...
I have a signed Legends Sulcanar's Swamp King that Warren gave me and Joe for a cube.
Jeez.
If you would like it to play in this event. That's a Richard Kane Ferguson signature.
The problem is I might play green too for regrowth.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and Heartbeat and Early Harvest by Mushroom.
So all it took was
infinite
turns with his commander in play for Kyle to take that game.
Yeah, not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Why are we even still talking about it?
This is sweet. I like this format a lot.
This is fun. I might build a deck for it.
I know more cards from these games than I did the standard games.
Yeah. Man, I got all kinds of degenerate legacy stuff I could build a deck out of too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these cards are cheap because they're banned even in regular Commander.
Right.
Like Yawgmoth's Will is not expensive. I mean, for like a powerful magic card.
But my only problem is I don't own a Lion's Eye Diamond or a Time Twister. I want to play both of
Is
those.
Time Twister legal? Really?
Yeah, it is.
It's Power 9.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's
I
legal.
thought they banned all the Power 9.
Wheel of Fortune is legal. I don't know about
Sure.
Time Twister. Time Twister's probably banned, but
I thought they banned the Power 9 purely on price concerns. They wanted to keep it accessible. That might be true, though.
You can play LED.
Yeah.
My Yagmoth's Will.
Yep. Burning Wish, LED, Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah.
The thing about Yawgmoth's Will, for those people who aren't aware of Yawgmoth's Will, Yawgmoth's Will is kind of like Past in Flames,
but way better.
Way better. For one thing, it lets you play any card in your graveyard.
Yeah. As long as it was in your graveyard when you cast Yawgmoth's Will, you can play. And Yawgmoth's Will exiles.
So, like, you can play. It's really good with Lion's Eye.
Yeah.
Which you can use to make a lot of mana.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, because you can, cast you can
Burning Wish for Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah.
In response, crack Lion's Eye Diamond. Put your whole hand in the graveyard of mana producers.
Cast
Yawgmoth's Will. Replay LED. Cast crack LED. Recast all your mana producers. Recast Burning Wish for Tendrils of Agony.
Yep. Yeah,
and that takes shockingly few cards to pull off.
Well, I figured I would play my Brain Freeze and my Tendrils main to win, and then play Ignite Memories on my side.
That's a good. I like that playing a lot.
Yeah. Or and empty the ones on my sideboard if I have to. And Joe points out, Yawgmoth's Will costs 2 and a black. That's a dark ritual right there. It's basically free.
And then you can cast Dark Ritual out of your graveyard.
Yep. Good stuff.
There was an Inquest article.
Of course.
To date myself, so I used to read a lot of Inquest magazine. Had so it said something like, "Oh, have you ever read Yawgmoth's Will?" And the answer was yes. It says, "Cheat as much as you want, you win."
Yeah.
So the card is just bizarre.
And it's one of those cards when you read it, you're like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not until you play with it you understand like what's going on here.
Did you tell me Demonic Tutor was legal in this format?
It is.
Because you can Demonic Tutor for Yawgmoth's Will, and then cast Demonic Tutor out of your graveyard.
You can Vampiric Tutor. You can Mystical Tutor it. You can Imperial Seal if you're just